and those levels are represented here. So the sections, this is sort of the group of the class. If you're taking this in the fall, you would be one section in the winter, and then in the spring another section. So this is something that you can see how this section is performing compared with another section in the class. And then these are the guilds. So the guilds for this course are traders, racers, inventors, and adventurers. And so those, I guess, 4 guilds, you will be in one of those. And during the first class period, the actual in-person class period for week 1 is when we'll choose and assign you to a guild. So this will be reflected and updated based on those selections. And so the other thing I wanted to point out is besides completing assignments in the class to earn completion points, there are other ways that you can earn points. And in the beginning of class, everyone in the course is assigned 500 points that are called superior points. And the word peer is in the center of that word because superior points are points that you are given, sort of think of it as currency, that you can give out to a fellow class member, a peer, who has been particularly helpful in helping you understand something and helping you refine your story or game ideas, helping you work through coding difficulties, just in whatever way has been helpful to you. So you have 500 points that you can give out to in various increments. So I think 50 is the lowest increment you can give them out. So 50 increments of 50 superior points you could give, to each of 3 people in one day, or give one person 200 superior points. You can figure out how you want to do it as long as it's sort of done in at least 50 point increments. And so those are slowly deducted from your sort of like treasure booty over the course of the class. And if by the end of the 6th week in the course you still have superior points in your account that you have not given out to a fellow classmate, then those are actually deducted from your overall leaderboard score. So that is an incentive to recognize when someone has helped you and you have benefited from their generosity. And it also I hope creates a culture of it's okay to ask for help, and we actually want to ask one another for help. So and along those lines too, the next category of points that are available is called persistence points. And sometimes you'll be working on something that will challenge you. Many times you'll be working on something that will challenge you. And persistence points are points that I award to students for staying on task. So folks who are focused on the task at hand, they're not disrupting the class, they're helping us accomplish what we need to accomplish, and they're really just, even if they haven't quite achieved the end goal, they're committed to sticking to it, and they're really putting a lot of effort in. Those are persistence points, and those will be doled out over the course of the class as I see fit in increments from 100 to 500 increments throughout the class. So think about ways that you might go about trying to earn those points. And the next and final category of points that are available that you could earn in this course are called collaboration points. As I mentioned earlier, you'll be doing a lot of work in guilds. The guild work, you'll be, producing individual pieces that you will be graded on with completion points, that you'll receive completion points for. But at the end of that collaborative exercise, you will be providing feedback and sort of assessing the collaborative work of your peers in the guild. So if you're, for example, working in a guild where 3 people are working really intently and being supportive and participating in the activity and helping one another, and the 4th guild member is reading a magazine or checking out their email or text messages or Snapchat on their phone, and they're not participating actively in the guild activity, then it's unlikely that that person would be receiving any collaboration points, or they should not receive collaboration points, in my opinion. So you want to reward the collaborative nature and effort of the group by giving collaboration points that accurately reflect the amount of participation and helpful participation and collaboration that went into that activity. So those will all be reflected here. This leaderboard will be updated every week prior to the class. So when we get into class, one of the things, before class, really at any time you want to come to the website, you can come to the website and take a look at the leaderboard and sort of see where you stand in relation to your fellow classmates. Okay, so that's the leaderboard. And the only other thing I want to, talk about are these areas right here. So the discussion forum. The discussion forum it's a private discussion forum only for students of this class. If you have not already received an invitation to join the discussion forum, I will be sending that out shortly. Only members of this class can participate in the discussion forum. So the discussion forum is not a place to chit-chat with your classmates about outside activities. It's really some place for us to create a collaborative culture in this course. Sometimes you'll be asked to fill out an assignment or write something at home, and you'll be posting those assignments in the discussion forum, and they will be I will be assigning completion points there for those things. When you want to award a peer with superior points, you would make a post to the discussion forum stating the name of the peer and the reason why you're giving those superior points with specifics, which assignment, which week, and what specifically was helpful about what that peer did for you. So that's what you would do in the discussion forum. And the other things that you'll be doing, as I mentioned, so after every week, you'll be posting a short paragraph, 2 to 3 sentences tops, reflection on that week's activities and content that you learned. So for example, after this first week of class, after you've heard about what is coming in this course, after the first meeting that we have, I would love for you to go into the discussion forum and write a 1-paragraph reflection, and make sure that in the title of that you just have, week 1 introduction reflection, week 2 whatever the topic was, or even just week 2 reflection, just so that as I'm scanning I can see and take note of which students have completed that assignment. And in those reflections, I would like to know what you hope to get out of this class and your general impressions so far. If you have any concerns, if you have any questions, anything that I can sort of help you understand differently or better, or if there is something very specific that you were hoping we would cover in this course that I haven't mentioned so far, just post that to the discussion forum, and then I will, we'll discuss it in class. So this is also a great place to post resources. If you come across something that is a new tool for game design, or read an article about game design, or anything that you think other peers in the course would be interested to know about, please post it here. So that's kind of what the discussion forum is all about, and this is how you get there. And again, if you have not yet received an invitation, let me know and I'll make sure that you get that. So the other last final thing that we have on the website is this area called resources. This first PDF here at the top, it's Game Design Workshop by Tracy Fullerton. It's the second edition. The current edition is the 5th edition, but this is the freely available version that's available on online, so it's posted to the website. If you are interested in getting the book, it's available from Amazon. I wasn't making it a requirement, and I don't really have the resources to provide it to everyone in the class, but I will bring my hard copy that I own to class during every session. So if you're interested in what the changes have been since the 2nd edition to the 5th edition, you're welcome to take a look at that during class. So the readings that are assigned weekly on the individual course weekly course pages will be referencing this document. So I may not link to it every week on the course pages, but there will be, it's on the resources page, so just come here and take a look at that. That's the entire book, and so I'll specify the chapters that I want you to have read prior to coming to class on each particular page of the website for each week. There are additional, this Story Cubes instruction. Really, if there's anything I want you to have read in order to participate fully in an activity in class, I'll post it here on the resources page. So if you don't see something on the weekly page, just come on over here into resources and take a look for it. And if it's something I've said you need to do and I have forgotten to put it on the website, just post a note to the discussion forum or email me. And I'll be happy to make sure that it gets updated. So in the course of preparing the contents for this class, I've come across several other books that are wonderful additions to a library on game design. So there are listed here, and I'll continue to add things that I find that I feel like you would get benefit from in this area. So on reference games, so these are games where we will be, we will be looking at some specific games during that game analysis section of the course. But these are some games that I think are good examples for the types of games you might want to think about trying to create for this course, and just different strategies that these game designers use to make simple games and simple art for the games, but challenging games that are fun to play. And that's really the sweet spot that we're going for here. So those are the games that are listed there, and feel free to take a look at those and play them anytime you want. The link there, this is an online web-based game. This right here is available in the Google Chrome store. So if you have access to the Chrome browser, and depending on how this course is structured, we may all have access to Chromebooks in the class. So you'll be able to get to that. And then this one here is an alien invasion game that I created in Adobe Animate, which is the new name for Adobe Flash. And so I created these graphics myself and coded the game in Flash, in Animate. So I wanted to have here an example of a game that I made with all of my own artwork to give you sort of inspiration to know that you're going to be able to do that too. So to help you with that, I've created a little sort of list of tutorials here. So as I mentioned, there's Adobe Animate, and this is the tutorial that I followed that helped me create that game. So if you are interested in doing something like that, you can try this tutorial. And there's parallax scrolling. So if you've ever done a game where your character is moving and the scenery is moving, that's called parallax scrolling, and we'll go over that in class. This is a tutorial on how you might create a game of that kind. So Swift and Xcode. We won't be going into this too much, but this is sort of, whereas Flash might be considered sort of the history of technology and sort of maybe being phased out somewhat on the web, Swift and Xcode is really sort of the future for mobile app development and games. And so there are a bunch of different tutorials available online, and I've selected a couple that would sort of give you the skills to create a very simple game, but sort of the technology skills that you could use to build on doing almost anything you can think of in the future. So if you're interested in doing a deeper dive into the coding aspects of games using Swift and Xcode, and that is available free from the Mac App Store, you can take a look at these tutorials. And then Unity is another, many of the games that you probably like to play, like Clash of Clans, for example, that are used on the iPad and other mobile devices were likely made with Unity. And there is a free version of Unity that you can download and install, and different tutorials here about how to make 2D games for non-programmers and how to create a 2D UFO game. So those are some tutorials that you can look to help deepen your understanding of game design, and these are available on the website. You can access them anytime, and some of those might be incorporated in the activities we do during the class, and others may not. So that's it for this introductory video for Essentials of Game Design, and I hope you're as excited as I am about this class. I'm really looking forward to it. Until next week, see you later.